Level 1. The Forgotten. You are 9 years old. You live in a village with no name that matters. Your father was caught with a Bible. That was 6 years ago. You have not seen him since. Because of him, your family is Songbun, tainted blood, bottom caste. You do not go to school. School is for loyal families. You pull weeds in a collective farm from sunrise until your hands bleed. Your daily meal is a thin soup with corn and nothing else. Some days, no soup. You watch government trucks roll through the village carrying rice you will never eat. You learn the first rule before anyone teaches it to you. Disappear before they notice you exist. Visibility is danger. Hunger is normal. Survival is the only ambition available to you. You are not a citizen. You are a problem the state has not yet solved. Level 2. The Soldier. You are 16. The military recruiters arrive and they are not asking. You are conscripted. 10 years of mandatory service, starting now. They give you a uniform that belonged to someone else and boots with holes in the soles. You think the army means food. You were wrong. The army is also hungry. You spend months doing construction labor, building roads for generals who will never thank you, hauling concrete for monuments to a man you are required to love. But you have a rifle now. It is older than your father and heavier than it looks. And when you carry it through a village, people step aside. That is new. That is the first power you have ever held. You learn to march in perfect formation. You learn to hate America with your mouth, while your stomach learns to eat grass when the Russians run out. You scream loyalty slogans until your voice breaks. You are not free, but you are no longer invisible. And for now, that feels like enough. Level 3. The Informant. You are 24. You have been in the military long enough to understand that muscle earns you nothing. Information earns you everything. The system runs on betrayal, the way a machine runs on fuel, constantly, efficiently, without guilt. You overhear a lieutenant talking about his cousin who crossed into China. He misses him. That sentence is enough. You go to the political officer. You give the name. 3 days later, the lieutenant is not at morning formation, and no one asks where he went, because asking is its own kind of confession. You receive a commendation, a small badge, a notation in your file. You feel something you do not name because naming it would require honesty, but you sleep in a real bed that week. You eat a full meal. You tell yourself the system would have found him anyway. You are probably right. That is the part that helps you sleep. Level 4. The Party Cadre. You are 33. You are a member of the Korean Workers' Party. This is not a political affiliation. It is a species upgrade. You manage a district agricultural office. Your job is to produce documents, not food. The quota says 800 tons of grain. The farms produced 340. You write 800. Your supervisor writes 800. His supervisor writes 800. The lie travels upward until it reaches someone who needs it to be true. And then it becomes true, officially, permanently, on paper that outlasts the people who starved that year. You have a wife and 2 children. Your apartment has running water 3 days a week. This is luxury. You do not discuss politics at home. Your children attend school where they learn that the supreme leader personally invented the hamburger and can control the weather with his emotions. You nod when they repeat this. The walls in this country have always had ears. Your own children might have ears. You love them completely and trust them not at all. Level 5. The Pyongyang man. You are 44. You live in the capital now. This is not North Korea. This is a stage set built on top of North Korea. Wide boulevards, fountains that actually work, a department store selling goods that most citizens do not know exist. You wear a suit, you drive a car. Your apartment has a television that receives 4 state channels and shows the supreme leader inspecting factories with great satisfaction. You travel to Beijing for diplomatic meetings. You see the restaurants, the traffic, the people on their phones accessing a world with no ceiling. You buy nothing. You take nothing back. You come back because your mother is in Pyongyang and your brother is being watched, and the regime has explained this to you without ever saying it directly. The golden cage has no lock. It doesn't need one. You already know what happens to the people who try the door. Level 6. The General. You are 58. You stand close enough to the supreme leader to see the sweat on his collar. This proximity is the most dangerous place in the country. The man before you held this position. He fell asleep during a speech, not intentionally, not from disrespect, just from exhaustion, and was executed in front of a crowd the following week. You have not fully slept in 4 years. You clap louder than anyone. You are the first to stand and the last to sit and you watch the leader's face the way a sailor watches weather, constantly, expertly, for any sign of the storm that ends everything. You have millions in foreign accounts. You drink cognac that costs more than a provincial family earns in a year. You sign documents you do not read, because reading them would mean knowing things that become dangerous to know. You have power over millions of lives and zero power over your own. This is the top. This is what the top feels like. Level 7, the supreme leader. You are the country. You are also its prisoner. You point at a map and rockets move. You change your haircut and state media spends 3 days analyzing its ideological significance. Generals cry when you enter rooms. Real tears, from real fear, and you have learned to read the difference between the ones performing and the ones who might snap. You had an uncle. He was becoming too popular. You had a brother. He was a variable you could not control. Variables get eliminated. You tell yourself this is governance. You eat Swiss cheese at midnight. You watch American action films alone in a private screening room. You have seen enough of the outside world to know exactly what you have built. And you build it anyway, because the alternative is losing everything. And losing everything in this country means a specific kind of ending you have personally authorized for others. You are the most powerful man in a country of 26 million people. You have not had a single honest conversation in 15 years. You are completely, totally, permanently alone. The view from the palace. You stand at the window. Below, the military parade moves in perfect formation. 10,000 boots striking pavement at the exact same millisecond. It is terrifying and beautiful and completely hollow. You look past the parade, past the wide boulevards, past the fountains, to the mountains, to a village with no name. You see a boy, maybe 9 years old, pulling weeds in a field in the dark. He is hungry. He is invisible. He has never heard your name spoken without fear attached to it. He does not know you exist as a person. You are a portrait on a wall to him, a slogan, a weather system. And tomorrow, the parade will end. The generals will go home and watch their backs. The party cadres will write numbers that are not true. The soldiers will eat grass if the Russians don't come. And that boy will still be in the field. The cycle does not need your permission to continue. It never did.